Welcome to another Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. Each week we have different organizations, and those individuals come in and talk to us about what's going on around our broadcast area, and we do appreciate it. A lot of great organizations, and most of them volunteers are one of the biggest problems, getting people involved in those organizations. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with two ladies from K-Life, or have to do with K-Life, about a big fundraising event coming up on Connection.
Sullivan Pharmacy has been serving your prescription needs for over 40 years. Our professional staff is glad to assist you with prescriptions, over-the-counter medicines, and healthcare products. Stop by Sullivan Pharmacy if you have questions about Medicare Part D, and we'll be glad to help. If you're in a hurry, use our convenient drive-through window so you don't have to get out of your car. Sullivan Pharmacy, 731 North Main Street in Harrison, helping you feel better since 1965.
Stop in at White Oak Station on Capps Road in Harrison and fill up with Shell gasoline, the highest quality gasoline with more miles per gallon, saving you money. Sign up for the Fuel Rewards card and save 5 cents per gallon every time. Plus, get an extra 5 cents off on Razorback Wednesdays. That's a savings of 10 cents per gallon. Check out their expanded deli and hot and cold food items. Capps Road, White Oak Station, where customer service is their #1 goal.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the show. Our first two guests today. In here, we're going to talk about K-Life. One is here for another reason, talk about another organization, but it all has to do with K-Life. And Chrissy Lachey, did I get that right?
Larche, yes.
Larche, and Emily Ross. Thank you so much. And we do appreciate you coming in. Chrissy called and we talked about a fundraising event that's coming up for K-Life. And K-Life in Harrison has had some struggles over the last few years. It's a great program and has to do with young people. And it touches a lot of young people in the Harrison area, and we want to talk about that too. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Chris, I'm going to let you kind of talk about the fundraiser and also the leadership group at and I'm going to let you talk about K-Life. So why don't you give us a little insight on K-Life? Some people don't know what K-Life's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So Harrison K-Life is a discipleship ministry, and so what that means is that we take kids that come into our ministry, point them to Jesus so that they can know him and love him, and eventually point other kids to Jesus. So the point of discipleship is to go a step further than what maybe churches can do. And so we do that based upon our model of ministry. So if you take a triangle and you invert it with the biggest part on top, we have our one-to-many, which is our youth group time called Club. And so we have fun, we have games, activities, we have a barn swing in our facility, we have a rock wall in our facility, so we have tons of fun. But then we get to go upstairs, have a little worship and a talk, and point kids to Jesus. And so then our middle section is our one-to-few, and this is our small groups. And so we take equipped leaders that are able to disciple kids and put them in a small group based upon their grade and their gender to point them to Jesus continually. And then our spearhead, the most important part of discipleship, is our one-on-one. And so these leaders then take their students, whether it's taking them to Sonic to go get a drink or go to Neighbor's Mill for a cookie, whatever it may be, just go with the kids, get to know them on a personal level to be able to point them to Jesus. And so we're located right next to the high school. It could not be a more ideal situation. You've literally got the middle school, the high school, and then the K-Life barn. And so kids can come over after school, hang out with our leaders, and it's a fun opportunity for the kids just to get pushed closer to Christ.
Boy, she went through that so well. Well, let me ask you, how did you get involved in this?
Yeah, great question.
Personally.
So I'm originally from Orlando, Florida, and so we have a K-Life chapter down there.
Okay.
And my parents got involved with it and sent me and my brother to it and just fell in love with the ministry and fell in love with the discipleship aspect of that. And so going through college, I knew I wanted to pursue a job in K-Life. And when the opportunity opened up to be in Harrison, even though it is very different from Orlando, I got excited about the idea of paying it forward from what my leaders did for me to continue that idea of discipling kids as in the Harrison community.
How's the challenge been for young people today, from your generation to today's generation?
It is a challenge. I mean, kids are going through things that I hadn't even expected to hear from, and so being able to just relate with them, sit down with them, and hear their perspective, hear their side of things, I think is what's made a big change in K-Life, is just the consistency of our leaders, the consistency of the ministry. And so for us to be able to be consistently in the community now for 31 years, I think has made a huge impact. It has
made. Well, we want to keep Chrissy out too long here, so we're going to bring her in to talk a little, and then we'll come back on and talk some more about K-Life. You're here, a part of the Chamber Leadership class, is that correct, Chris?
Yes, I'm part of the Boone County Chamber Leadership class. It's class of 29, and this leadership class, what it does is there's one every year, and through this process, we pick a organization, a project that we want to work with and to help. And so this year we chose to be a part of K-Life, and so our project this year is to put on the annual K-Life banquet. And as you know, in the past, there's a K-Life banquet every year, and the money that they get through this banquet is most of the money that they need to operate for a year. So we've been working diligently trying to put this together, and we are taking donations. We'll have a silent auction. So anything that the community has that would like to help us with silent auction, we'll take monetary donations. We're selling our tables at $400 a table, and that's for 8 people. So an organization could buy a table and have your employees come, your family members, church organizations. If you have, a pastor wants to get a table to and invite part of the congregation to participate, so people will get to know too what K-Life does. So this year, so the tables are $400, and that's for 8. Or you can buy
$400.
$400
okay.
for the table, and that's 8 people.
You said 800. I thought that was
Did I say 800? I'm sorry.
That's all right. We got the 400 for 8 people.
That's right.
Now that's what it is. So don't get excited about the $800.
Yes, 400 for 8 people.
Okay.
Or $60 a person.
Right. Yeah.
And so we have different levels that we're talking about, because we want to honor people.
Right.
So the platinum is $1,000 plus of donations or plus or buying tables. The gold is $750. Silver is $400, and a friendship honor is $399 or less.
Okay.
So our banquet, though, will be March 12th, which is next Monday night from 6:30 to approximately 8:30 at the Duran Center. And we have a special guest, Jeff Doherty, he's a comedian from Branson. And we will have some skits from the K-Life kids that will be doing some entertainment for the people that attend the banquet. And we're looking forward to a full house and lots of fun, and to promote K-Life.
Good job there. For K-Life, you mentioned this is a fundraiser. So is this their only fundraiser they're doing now? Once a year, or they have other fundraisers, or either one of you?
I do know that this is the big fundraiser.
Okay. Do they do any other fundraisers?
We do a variety of other fundraisers. We've had a dodgeball tournament where we try and invite other K-Life chapters in the community, as well as maybe a skeet shoot that we've done before. A patty plop is one of our favorites, but this is our biggest fundraiser for sure.
You used to do a golf tournament too, I think, at one time.
Yeah, I think there might be one later this year.
Schedule. But the main one for total funds is this banquet. I know they've had this banquet for a long time. Let's go back for just a moment. I want to ask you something on young people. Now, what age group, where do you start? I mean, do you start in kindergarten, or do you start in elementary school, or where do you start?
So we have a couple of options. We have our Super K, which is for 3rd and 4th graders, And that is just our club meeting. So we just meet. They don't have small groups for them.
Okay.
We'll wait them till they're a little older. But for small groups, that starts at 5th grade and goes all the way up to 12th.
Okay. All right. So you kind of break them up there just a little bit and
Yes.
so forth. A lot of people go by. They call it the barn. It kind of looks like a barn. They do a lot of barn type things there with the climbing wall and the ropes and the hay. Do you have hay in it?
We don't have any hay.
Yeah,
No.
you used to have hay.
We need to get some hay.
Okay, so no hay in there, but it looks like a barn. But it's a great organization. This organization for the youth, and the youth today is a little different, and we've said that through years gone by. It changes as we go forward, and there's more challenges, but they do have a challenge for these youth. But it's something that's above and beyond what happens in the schools. The schools really don't get into what K-Life does, so it takes them to another level. Obviously, it gets them into one-on-ones. A lot of children out there today, and I'm sure you see this. They may have parents, but the parents are disconnected with those children. Is that a big issue out there today?
It's definitely a prevalent issue. We're seeing that that many families are a little disconnected, and so for K-Life to provide some sort of consistency for the kids, it's been phenomenal just to see the transformation of kids from the first time they've walked through our doors till now.
You have a board of directors, I know, that govern the organization. Is that correct? And different people kind of come and go on the board? Is that the way that works?
Yeah, so the board is a volunteer basis, so every couple of years or so we do have a bit of a turnover, and so that creates a little bit of a challenge. But at the same time, bringing in new people creates fresh perspective, creates different passion, and so that can create, I guess, more longevity with K-Life is having that turnover.
Right. As far as events for the kids, I know most of your stuff you do at the barn. Do you ever go out? Do you ever do field trips and stuff? Kanakut is a good example.
Yes, so we are associated with Kanakut camps, and so we do provide a scholarship for kids, K-Life kids specifically, that if they want to go to camp, they can go for a discounted rate. But we even just recently, at the end of January, took about 30 kids up to Fritz's Adventure in Branson, and that was phenomenal. I mean, we had a ton of fun up there. So we do take some field trips, but most of the stuff is at the barn.
You try to stay here. Well, it's a little easier to organize here.
Yes.
and so forth. Okay, Chrissy, we've got a couple minutes left. Let's go one more time. So you've got your fundraiser coming up.
Right. It's March 12th, next Monday night, from 6:30 to approximately 8:30 at the Durand Center. If you'd like to donate, if you would like to purchase a table or a ticket, I have 2 phone numbers that you can call.
Okay.
Part of our leadership class is Kelly Hines, and you can contact her at 870-688-1868, or Courtney Roberts, 870-480-6829. And any of us will come and pick up donations, deliver
What about
tickets.
to the chamber?
You can take it to the chamber, and we will sell tickets at the door, too.
Okay.
Or you can bring your items. But we prefer to get a little heads up so that we have enough food and we have everything organized for when the event happens.
Probably if some people can't remember the numbers, they don't know, they could take it to the chamber, I'm sure,
exactly.
since it's a leadership
Yes.
class program.
Sure can.
Well, it's very important. This is a fundraiser for K-Life here in the Harrison area. This banquet is March the 12th. That's Monday, March the 12th, 6:30 until 8:30 p.m. at the Durand Center. They're going to have prizes, silent auction. You can buy a table if you're a business or an organization, save a little money on the tickets. More importantly, they need your help. If you can just make a donation, maybe you can't go to the banquet, they would certainly appreciate that. Chrissy, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having
Thank you
us.
so much
Thank
for
you
coming
for
in.
having
And it sounds like you've got the K-Life thing down. So,
Yeah.
Emily, you hang in there. There's hope for all the kids when they've got people, instructors like you.
Thank
you
you.
so much. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with 2 young ladies about another organization that needs your help in the community here on Connection. Many things have changed over the years, and so has auto body repair. Even though Ozark Auto Body has been in business for over 30 years, they continue to change with the times.
They believe protecting the environment is important and have done so by using environmentally friendly waterborne paint from PPG. This aligns with the technology used by original manufacturers and gives you a lifetime limited warranty. Quality PPG waterborne paint, ASC certified personnel, plus 24-hour towing service. Ozark Auto Body in Harrison, always taking pride in excellence.
From the makers of the best-selling Yamaha Grizzly and Kodiak 700 comes the all-new Kodiak 450, the world's only midsize ATV with Yamaha-proven off-road capability, all-day comfort, and confidence-inspired performance. The all-new Kodiak 450, starting at just $59.99.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. Well, we always have surprises on the Connection Show, and today we have lots of surprises. It's been quite interesting before we started this segment of the show. We've got all kinds of individuals here. Colette Campbell is with us, and she's going to talk about her platform. Michelle Rouse is here all ready for the St. Patrick's Day, and then we got a couple of furry friends here today that we're going to do. So, Michelle, I'm going to let you start off. You look great.
Well, to explain my outfit and then the dog's costumes and our green theme, we're here to promote an upcoming event for the Ozark Humane Society, which will take place on St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
It's a Lucky Dog Show event, and it's on Saturday, March 17th on St. Patrick's Day from 2 to 4 p.m., and it's at the Quality and Convention Center here in Harrison. And basically, we're going to have a dog show, a fun dog show with all sorts of fun categories to compete in. So there's 10 different categories, but things along the lines of best tail wagging, least obedient, most mysterious heritage, categories like that, in which Colette will be helping out with the dog show part of it. I'm not as active in the actual dog show itself with that part as Colette and Valerie are, but then there'll be lots of other fun things going on that day as well, which we can elaborate on. But it's going to be a really fun. It's going to be a fun event.
It's going to be this is an event where you've got all the furry friends, and then you got all the other interesting individuals it's going to be there. Colette, tell us about you. You've got your crown on. A little bit about yourself and what you're doing.
Hi, I'm Colette Campbell, Miss Life's the Delta's Outstanding Teen, and it is a prelim for the Miss Arkansas Outstanding Teen organization, which is actually one of the largest scholarship giving for women organizations today. So that's why this organization was very unique to me, and I thought that it would make a big impact on me. Can you be quiet for a second? Okay. But I'm going to be going to Miss Arkansas Outstanding Teen this summer, competing for the title of Miss Arkansas Outstanding Teen, and it's going to be a fun experience, a very humbling experience, and I'm glad to go back.
So your platform, is this your platform?
Yes, sir. My platform is Paws for a Cause, which is promoting no-kill shelters, promoting shelter adoption, and promoting spaying and neutering. And I believe if we keep on doing that, that'll cut down on dogs going into animal shelters each day.
Well, I know it's a big problem, and I'm not as much of a pet lover as Michelle, but I've got one. That's enough. But it was a rescue pet, so I did take I've got a cat that was a rescue cat. So if everybody would, help out, it really makes a big difference. Spay and neutering is such an important part of making sure that these animals, that they don't continue to multiply, and then you don't see them all over running everywhere. And we certainly don't. We have the Humane Society, and I think I'm correct here, has been a no-kill facility for many years now.
For a long time. It wasn't always, but it has been now for
many
several years. Yeah.
And I was so glad to hear when they changed their approach, and they've done a fantastic job. If you've never been to the Ozark Humane Society, you need to go out there. It's a very humbling experience. Not only the fact that they do so much with so little, they need more space, and hopefully someday they'll have a new facility, but they take care of a lot of pets. It's volunteer-oriented, and Michelle, you're a good example of volunteers, but you always need volunteers. You need help because it takes so many people to take care of these, and it could be just a little bit of help.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There's all sorts of volunteer opportunities with the Ozark Humane Society. Like one of the events, for example, like the one we're talking about, we always need help. It takes a village of us to pull off one of these events, but the thrift store, the Cause for Paws thrift store, they always need help there, and also at the shelter itself. With there's in the range of 100 animals there all the time that require feeding and bathing and walking and cleaning their kennels every day, and so it is quite an undertaking to get all of that accomplished.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, like I say, you don't. If you've got a little extra time, just go out sometime just to walk a dog. I mean, or take care of an animal for a little short period of time. If you don't have time to donate hours in during the week, get any little help. And of course, donations. Take some treats out there. Take some dog food, cat food. Give it to them. They have to purchase all that kind of stuff through their the monetary funds that are given to. And also, if you've never been to the Cause for Paws thrift store, it's a great thrift store. It's right on Crandall Street next to Liquidation Outlet. Go down there. If you've got stuff that you're clean out your closet, some good used products, or even new. Maybe a lot of times you get something new and you don't want to tell whoever gave it to you that you're not ever going to use it. Take it down there. You don't have to tell those people about it. Just take it and give it to them, and they would be very appreciative. And they do a fantastic job down there too. we were just talking. I got to tell something on Michelle. I hope her husband Chris is not watching the show. But we were talking before the show, and I asked Michelle, who's been on here many times. She always usually has a pet with her. But I said, so Michelle, how many pets do you have? She said, 4 dogs. And I said, well, I'm surprised you don't have more than 4. She said, I would if I didn't have a husband. So I had to tell her.
It's just honest.
She caught me off guard when she said that, but I had to tell her. So, but she does her part. She's keeping the husband. She got 4 dogs for now, and so we'll see how that goes in the future. Fantastic. It's really nice to see young people like you, Colette, get involved in a platform like the Cause for Paws and the Humane Society, because a lot of young people, they may have a pet, but they don't really get involved in programs that help pets. Now, obviously, these 2 pets, are these both yours?
Yes, these are both mine.
So you're involved in a pet program
yes,
already. Oh, so do you get to take care of these 2 pets all the time?
All the time. This one's a handful, even though she's the youngest, but they're great. They're great dogs.
Now, what's that one's name?
This is Daisy, and that is Princess.
Daisy and Princess. Well, they're certainly dressed up for the occasion.
Yes.
They're just like Michelle. They've got the green and white on, and I'm sure they'll be there for this occasion. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Will they be performing at this event? So I got to ask you. You've done this in the past.
This particular event.
Yeah.
This will be the first one, actually.
For this one?
Yes. Now
Okay.
They have done the Chocolate and Romance in the past,
Right.
which there was a dog pageant.
Okay, but this is the first time you've done it on St. Patrick's Day.
This is the first time it's a St. Patrick's theme.
St.
Yes.
Patrick's. So this is going to be an adventure.
This part's new,
to say
yes.
the least. So at this event, Michelle, you're going to have people come in. Do they need to register? Tell a little bit about how you would be involved in this.
Okay, so if you want to participate, if you want to enter your dog in one of the categories,
Okay.
it's $10 per category to enter, or it's $25 to enter your dog to compete in all 10 categories.
Okay.
And if you want to just come in to spectate and see all the other things going on, it's $5 admission at the door to get in the day of. And we're going to have a lot of stuff there. If you're coming just to watch, besides the dog show, which is just going to be fantastic, there will be a photo booth, a kissing booth with a dog in there. There's going to be face painters. There's going to be raffle prizes, some really amazing raffle prizes. I don't know all of them, but I can tell you there are things like a kayak to be raffled off, a Yeti cooler, all sorts of really awesome things to be raffled off that day. There's going to be a live band, Irish music playing, and it's going to be really good, even if you don't have a dog to enter in the dog show. But the dog show is going to be obviously the focal point of the event, and it's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Will you have? I won't say dog food there, but will you have food for people there? Will there be?
There
food?
will be food. Yeah, I'm actually glad that you mentioned that. That's one of the things I'm in charge of, which is funny, and I didn't say that. But yes, there is. There's going to be. There's several people who are helping out with different, themed treats like Rice Krispie treats that are green, and things like that. The cake shop, I think, is donating some cupcakes.
Okay.
But we're going to have all sorts of different green candy and different snacks and treats that are go along with our theme. So there will be food there. Yes.
Yeah. This is the kind of event where you can really go to it and have a lot of fun because you never know what's going to happen. There's no telling what's going to happen at this event coming up, especially when you get a lot of pets that their owners may think they're under control, but once you get them all in one location, it could be a whole different ballgame, couldn't it, Michelle?
Oh, it sure could. Yeah, it'll be hard. It'll be interesting to see. But it'll be fun.
So they'll have judging.
Yes.
For different things.
Yes, there will be judges for each category, and then I believe the way that the format will be is there will be like a People's Choice Award one at the end. So basically the best of show sort of out of all the different categories. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit go back just a moment, because of the need for monetary donations is always so great for the Humane Society. Michelle, I know the Cause for Paws Thrift Store, without it, you obviously couldn't continue to operate. I mean, that's your main event. Is that correct?
It's probably 90% of the financial stability of the Humane Society. It provides for most of them. We of course get some other donations besides that, but the important thing to realize is that people, I know it still costs money to adopt a dog from a Humane Society, but the shelter, that basically just covers the basics, the spay, neuter, and the vaccinations and things like that. The food and things like that for the animal, and the care, the staff, of course, we pay while the animal is in the care of the Humane Society prior to their adoption. Those are all things that the shelter loses on every time they adopt out a pet. So it's important to realize we're not charging those fees because we make money when we sell the animal. It just covers... It more or less just reimburses the shelter for the basic medical care that they need when they're taken in, and otherwise we rely on the thrift store for sure.
Another thing that they're real fortunate here. We live in Harrison, and we've always been a giving community here. But the veterinarians, I know they help you. They give you discount big time on the spay and neutering programs.
We work with Harrison Animal Clinic. The shelter works exclusively with Harrison Animal Clinic, and they're a huge help. And but yeah, the community as a whole for sure supports the Humane Society a lot, and it's really, really appreciated.
I'll just throw this out. I know you've long range, hopefully not too far down the road. At some point in time, you need a new facility, and I know you've had people brainstorming and maybe come up with drawings and what it would take, and maybe even looking at some property maybe to be donated to them, and those things are in the works. But you have to continue with what you have, and that's what you've been able to do so far out there.
Yeah, exactly. But that would be the ultimate goal, yes, to be able to have a better facility for the animals.
Yeah, because I know you stay full constantly out there. I want to thank both of you for coming in. Colette, thank you. You lost your partner.
Yeah, she was just acting up today. I don't know what's up with her.
So as you can see, pet training is not exactly always what it's intended to be. So Colette lost hers. You've done a good job with yours.
I think I got the easier
she said
job
this
to
one
sit
would
with
be.
me.
Thank you both for coming in. Good luck in your pageant coming up, and thank you for having a platform like you have. That's
Thank you.
Nice to have a young lady like you take a platform like that and run with it. Michelle, it's always fun. It's always exciting to have you come in. Thank you. Don't stay away. I can't hardly wait to see what your next outfit's going to be. Michelle Rouse, she always does spends a lot of time for the Ozark Humane Society, too. And don't forget the event coming up at the Comfort Inn Saturday, March the 17th from 2 until 4 p.m., Comfort Inn Convention Center. Not only will it be a great cause, it'll be a lot of fun. Couldn't even tell you what's going to happen. Just go and check it out. Thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. We hope we brought some entertainment and some information to you. Thanks for joining.
Sullivan Pharmacy has been serving your prescription needs for over 40 years. Our professional staff is glad to assist you with prescriptions, over-the-counter medicines, and healthcare products. Stop by Sullivan Pharmacy if you have questions about Medicare Part D, and we'll be glad to help. If you're in a hurry, use our convenient drive-through window so you don't have to get out